Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a chilly night for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, tonight on the mound for the Red Sox is Henry Owens, and Jerry certainly has been one of the good surprises this year for the Red Sox.
He really has, Don, and he's been very good in particular over his last 4 starts. When we look at those numbers over the 4 starts, a 2-1 record. Look at the ERA, 1.61 in 28 innings, 19 hits allowed, 17 strikeouts, and opponents hitting 192 off Owens. Now, when I first saw him come to the big leagues, I wasn't quite sure about it. I didn't know if he was ready for this yet. He didn't overpower you with his fastball, but you didn't realize he had such a good changeup at that time. And the more I see him pitch, the more I think he's big league ready. And I don't know if it's going to be for the Boston Red Sox next year or maybe somebody else if he's traded. But the fact is, I think this kid is a keeper at the big league level. And I think that, he progresses every single time he takes the mound. One thing, he doesn't get bothered out there. He's very confident on the mound, and the numbers starting to prove that.
Josh Tomlin on the mound tonight for the Cleveland Indians. He's 6-2. He's had a very good year. It's going to be a very chilly night tonight from Cleveland. We're back with more right after this. Experience a new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Welcome back to Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Indians. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, the Red Sox have been hot lately. In fact, they had their 6-game winning streak come to a halt last night against the Yankees. They're playing good baseball, and certainly the future is bright for the Red Sox in 2016. With more, here's Garen Austin.
Thanks, John. Well, David Ortiz is back in the lineup tonight. Interim manager Torey Lovullo said he feels good and wants to play. Entering this final series of the season, Ortiz talked about how well the team's been playing and how excited he is for next year.
I love to see young players perform at the highest level, especially early their age. You see guys like Bogart, who just turned 23, having a hell of a season. You see Mookie Betts, another young talented player, putting the season that he put together. You see guys like Rodriguez pitching the way he pitched. you see Junior Bradley, the way he performed once he came back up, and Porcello, the way he finished the season. Like, I mean, it's something that give you a lot of hope, you know. And now we have the new CEO with the new GM, who you already can see, you know, how worried they are about the following season. You know, it's something that I'm very excited about it.
Well, Henry Owens is certainly something to be excited about. He'll be pitching tonight for the Red Sox. We come back. The first pitch from Cleveland is next. A 3-game series tonight. Wind blowing in hard from right center field as the Indians take the field tonight for the first of 3. As they do, let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It is brought to you by our Eastern Hyundai dealers. Well, leading it off and in center field is Mookie Betts with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with David Ortiz, the DH. Travis Shaw at first base with Rusney Castillo in left field, batting sixth. Brock Holtz at third base with Blake Swihart doing the catching, batting eighth. And Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field, bats ninth. The Indians starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Josh Tomlin on the mound, making his 10th start of the year. 6-2 with a 3.03 earned run average. 52 strikeouts to 6 walks. And opponents hitting at 193 against Tomlin. Saturday ended up with a no decision at Kansas City. Went 3 2/3 and was charged with 5 runs. Didn't walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out.
Now the Indians defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are third in the American League with only 79 errors on the season. Chris Johnson will be at third base. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop. Jose Ramirez at second. Carlos Santana, the first baseman. Left to right, Mike Aviles, Abraham Almonte, and Jerry Sands. And Yan Gomes doing the catching for Tomlin.
Well, the umpiring crew tonight, Marvin Hudson has the play calling the balls and strikes with David Rackley at first base, Bob Davidson at second base, and Hunter Wintelstead is the umpire at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the conditions tonight are not balmy here in Cleveland. 55 degrees. Supposed to get down in the mid-40s by the end of the night. In from center field at 21 miles per hour. And the forecast cloudy and windy for the remainder of the evening. And that it is here in Cleveland. So Mookie Betts about ready to lead it off here. As it'll be Betts, Pedroia, and Bogaerts starts expected in the inning. Mookie hitting at .297 coming into tonight's game. 18 homers and 77 runs batted in.
That's certainly a goal for Mookie Betts before these 3 games are over, is to get over 300. .297 coming into the ball game.
Mookie Betts ready, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we are underway. That's Pedroia and Bogaerts here in the first, as Tomlin trying to bounce back after that tough outing last time out and in search of his 7th win of the year.
He's making a nice little comeback. He came off shoulder surgery, right shoulder surgery, in March during spring training, and a couple of rehab stints at the minor leagues and back to the big leagues.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. The Indians, kind of a disappointing season for them. They were kind of in the mix as far as the AL wildcard went for a while, but dropping out. They're 13.5 games back of the Royals, who ran away with the American League Central. This one fouled off over by the on-deck circle, so certainly a disappointing year for Terry Francona. They had some high hopes heading into the year, but they have 78 wins on the season, 2 games under 500 heading into this series. And of course, longtime friend Brad Mills alongside as his bench coach. Former manager of the Houston Astros. 1-2 pitches, a curveball. It's fouled off to the right, out of play.
Yeah, it's interesting, Don. When you look at Cleveland, their pitching has been great all season long. They're second in the league in ERA, only to the Houston Astros. They are first in hits allowed, third in runs allowed, third in home runs allowed, and they've got the most strikeouts in the American League. But the offense, not so much.
Well, Betts with a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. A fastball that time gets him, and there's one away.
Yeah, fastball away from Mookie Betts that time. Not overpowering is Tomlin, but it has to hit his spots to be effective. That fastball at 90 miles an hour and keeping it away from Mookie.
So one down here in the first inning, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. Dustin hitting in the 2 spot and hitting just under 300 at .297 heading into tonight's game as Tomlin deals, and it's in there for a strike. 12 home runs, 42 runs batted in to go along with that .297 average for Pedroia. And a swing and a miss for Dustin has him down 0-2. He was 4 for 14 in the series against the Yankees. Take a look at the strikeouts for team pitching highs in the American League, and the Indians, you talked about their pitching, has been very good. On the ground, a couple of hops to Lindor at shortstop, the high hop, and in plenty of time to get Pedroia 2 down.
Lindor, the shortstop, only 10 errors on the season, and makes that play easy. The ball bounced up about letter high to him, so it becomes a very routine play for Francisco Lindor.
So 2 down here in the first inning brings up Xander Bogaerts. Xander at .322 to start the day, 7 home runs and 81 runs batted in. He was 4 for 16 in the series against the Yankees and turned 23 years of age yesterday. I was talking to Xander after the ball game last night, and he said it's not often that he walks twice in a game. In fact, that's the first time this year. He said it was he was looking for more hits, but they walked him, and the second time intentionally, as it worked out in last night's game.
Yep, shooting for that magic 200 hits on the season. 194 coming in tonight's game.
In the air, foul off to the right, and Bogaerts finds himself down 1-2. Second in the American League in average, 4th in the majors in average, and leads the majors with a .343 average in the last 106 games. That's batting averages by a shortstop since 2012. As pointed out by Alex Spear of the Boston Globe, to right as Jerry Sands watches the wind knock that down, and then plenty of room. Makes the catch out there to end the inning. Red Sox down in order. The Indians are coming up. Lineup is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Jose Ramirez leads it off at second base with Francisco Lindor at shortstop batting second. Ryan Rayburn on the DH with Carlos Santana at first base. Yan Gomes does the catching. Chris Johnson at third base with Jerry Sands in right field. Abraham Almonte in center field bats eighth. And Mike Aviles, former Red Sox outfielder, is in left field tonight for the Indians. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. And for Henry Owens, his 11th start of the year, 4-3 with a 3.84 earned run average, 46 strikeouts in 58 2/3 innings, and opponents sitting at 235 against Owens. A win last time out against Baltimore, 7 2/3 shutout innings against the O's. As Jose Ramirez leads it off and bunts it down the first base line. Owens with a good backhanded play, and he flips to first in time to get Ramirez.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're 11th in the American League with 96 errors on the season. Brock Holt will be at third base, and Bogarts, the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Travis Shaw, the first baseman. Left to right, Cruzne Castillo, Mookie Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr., and Blake Swihart doing the catching for Henry Owens.
You can see how windy it is. The camera position up in right field, and it is howling in here. 21 miles an hour the wind as the game starts tonight in chilly Cleveland. One down, Francisco Lindor, the batter. Shortstop taking a pitch up high for ball one. Lindor at .319 with 12 home runs, 51 runs batted in. We saw Jose Ramirez trying to bunt his way on, but a good athletic play by Henry Owens coming off the hill.
That was a very good play because remember the left hand is falling off toward third base, so he's going to regroup. The whole idea of push bunting like that is to get it by the pitch and make the second baseman field it, but Owens made a fine play getting to it.
And Owens getting his 11th major league start of the ball game tonight. First time that he's ever faced the Cleveland Indians. See the one blowing in his back here. 2-1. It's fouled back, and it's 2-2 now to Lindor.
There's a changeup right there by Owens. That's been a very, very good start for him, and you can see what he's done over his last four. 2-1 with a 1.61 ERA.
Two pitches outside, and a full count here to Lindor. And there's ball four. A one-out walk for Lindor. So down to first base he goes here. First base runner for either side tonight. Into the stretch should be going Henry Owens here to deal with Ryan Rayburn, the DH coming up. Former Detroit Tigers standing in on the right side. .298 with 7 homers and 28 runs batted in the 3 spot for the Indians. .24 games as a DH for Rayburn. Red Sox infield a double play depth as time called as Owens was about to deal.
Yeah, the sign there was the pickoff at first base, but Owens decided just to hold the ball for a long time, and then time was called.
Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. A lot of green grass out there in left center field right now. Good size gap for Rayburn.
.11 steals on the season for Lindor, caught twice.
Patiently waiting a pitch is Rayburn. And he'll finally get one, and it's up and away for ball one. .320 against left-handed pitching. .277 since May the 5th for the Indians DH. Cleveland was officially eliminated from the postseason contention on Wednesday night. Still kind of in the mix here for a long time, and that takes them really into September before they were eliminated, kind of hanging around that wild card scenario. Certainly had higher hopes for the season, but as I mentioned, they're 2 games under 500 right now, 78 and 80 at the moment. Tonight, game number 160 of the year. Low throw. Shaw able to grab it, but not close to picking off Lindor at first base.
In watching Owens, that pickoff move seems to be the one he's most comfortable with, the one where he steps off the back of the mound and throws to first.
A little bit high, and he falls behind now, 3-0.
Yeah, right now everything up in the zone from Owens, even the changeups he threw to Lindor were a little bit high.
Rayburn taken all the way, and he takes strike one right down the middle. Indians in the middle of their final homestand of the year here in the final series, of course, but they're 1-3 so far in the homestand. 7-day, 7-game stand that started against the Minnesota Twins. It took 3 out of 4 here before departing, and the Red Sox arriving. Runner goes. Pitch is a strike, and the throw is going to be late. Stolen base for Francisco Lindor.
Not an exceptionally good jump at first base by Lindor, but the pitch was a little bit high. Then you see the break. He takes a peek back. That's not a good habit to get into when you're stealing a base. Swihart up and throwing. A good throw to second base, but not in time to get Lindor.
Now a 3-2 pitch it is going to miss, and that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks allowed by Owens here in the first inning. Non-stop action, heart-pounding excitement, historic performances. Don't miss the 2015 postseason beginning October the 6th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule. 2 on, 1 away, and Carlos Santana coming up here. Chance here for the Indians to do some damage here against Owens, who has walked 2 in the first inning. Santana at 227, 18 homers, 81 runs driven in.
Owens getting underneath a lot of pitches, leaving that ball up in the zone. Up and out of the strike zone.
And he falls behind 2-0. And now Carl Willis is headed out there to talk to Owens right now, having trouble finding the strike zone. And Ramirez to ground out on a bunt bid to begin the inning, but then walks of Lindor and Rayburn with a stolen base mixed in between, and runners at first and second with 1 away. And Carl Willis back to the dugout. They're dealing with Carlos Santana, who's fallen behind Santana 2-0. Strike over the inside corner, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, needed a strike, and he went to his changeup to get that strike.
Seems he's had more control of that than he has the fastball here in the early going. There's Lindor at second base, Rayburn at first with 1 out. And a ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. Lindor being waved around. Throw from center field from Betts is going to be close, and he is out at the plate. So nicely done. In center field, Mookie Betts able to gun down Lindor for the second out of the inning, and we remain scoreless.
Great job by Mookie Betts. He put a tremendous charge on that ball in center field, and a very good throw to Blake Swihart. I mean, you got speed at second base too, and Lindor, and here comes the throw all the way in the air. Swihart catches, tags, and Lindor never really tagged the plate until after the tag of Swihart. So that is his 10th assist of the season for Mookie Betts in center field.
So let's check it in third now, 2 down. It brings up Yan Gomes, the catcher
for the Indians. And Gomes will take the fastball up and away for ball one. 229 coming into tonight's action. 12 homers and 44 runs batted in for Gomes. The drum in full force as always here in Cleveland, as the Indians bat here in the bottom of the first inning. I'm spending time on the DL this year. April into mid-May with a sprained MCL in his right knee. Second half of the year hitting at .237 for the Indians, and starting today is the catcher with runners at second and third, and a swing and a miss. That one by him, and it's 2-1.
I challenged him with his fastball. The fastball only at 88, but he throws it by him. Two men in scoring position, a 2-0 count, and the fastball from Owens.
Inside 3-1. Well, if Owens can get out of this unscathed, it'd be pretty impressive. It's been a taxing inning, no doubt. He's walked two, not to help himself out. His defense has helped him out. Here's a 3-1 pitch coming to Yan Gomes. And a swing and a miss to make it a full count.
He did come with the fastball again in the hitters count, and the 3-1 count goes to the fastball, but this time up and away to get the swing and miss.
Gomes lines it foul off to the right, out of play, up into the second deck here to the right. Eight-game hitting streak for Gomes, and along the way hitting at .344. And a big spot here in the bottom of the first inning with Rayburn at third, Santana at second, and two down here in the first. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt as Swire will have to throw him out at first. He does. And out of the jam is Henry Owens. Nicely done. Scoreless after one from Cleveland. In their 160th game, the Red Sox lost to the Indians 11-4. Alan Ashby went 3 for 5 and hit a grand slam for Cleveland. Now the Red Sox here in Cleveland tonight as we head here into the top of the second inning. David Ortiz, Travis Shaw, and Rusney Castillo to face Josh Tomlin here in the inning. On a windy night here in Cleveland, a cold night in Cleveland. And David Ortiz to lead it off back in the Red Sox lineup. Into the shift are the Indians on the right side as he'll ground right into it. A couple of big hops out to Jose Ramirez with a long throw from right field, and Ortiz the first down of the second inning.
I don't know about you, Don, but it feels like the Caribbean in the booth. It's cold outside, but it's kind of nice in here.
I keep saying it's really cold, but it's out there because we are not in the elements.
No, we are not.
This is the way we're going to go with it tonight. I think this is the way to go.
Well, if it wasn't for the wind, we'd probably have it open, but the wind is just brutal.
No, it's really bad, and it's pumping in here pretty good at 21 miles an hour. I mean, it would be a mess. There'd be papers all over the place.
Don Jerry, rub it in. Might want to make a little bit of room for me up there. I might need to end up there by the end of the night.
Oh, come on up. Come on, you can do hits from up here. It's a beautiful booth.
Now, Travis Shaw bats here and fouls it over by the Indians dugout. And again, they're in the shift here as they were for Ortiz. They do the same thing against Travis Shaw. We got off the plane last night. You could tell the conditions were a little chilly here in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's the coldest we've had since early in the season. We got off that plane last night, and it was really cold.
Of course, the Red Sox coming from New York as the Yankees beat the Red Sox last night and punched their ticket to the postseason, salvaging the last game of that 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
That was a great landing last night, too, wasn't it? We land downtown here in Cleveland. It's a small airport with a shorter runway. And so it's kind of like landing on an aircraft carrier. It's great. I mean, I loved it.
I didn't enjoy it quite as much because you have to stop immediately as soon as you hit the ground, and then everything goes flying underneath you from all the way to the back of the plane.
Think of all the time it saves you, though.
There's no question about that.
Shorter runway, you're close to downtown. It's great. I thought it was fun.
One down here for Shaw, and a full count as he fouls it off to the left out of play. Look at the scoreboard. A bunch of cancellations, it appears, on the East Coast tonight, and it was expected to be very rainy there today. And I know the Mets were at home. Baltimore postponed. They were supposed to play the Yankees tonight. That game has been postponed. Sounds like weather issues across the East as this one is in the air to left field. Mike Aviles back there with room in left, and he'll put it away for out number 2 here, the second inning. The Globies Award Show is Tuesday, October the 6th at the House of Blues in Boston. Celebrate the best in New England sports with a star-studded selection of current and former sports legends. Tickets start at just $75 and can be purchased at tickets.com/Globies. 2 down here in the second brings up Rusney Castillo. 262, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in. Rusney returning to the Red Sox lineup last night, nursing a quad problem, but back in there. 0 for 4 in his return last night against the Yankees. It was his first appearance of that series. And the breaking ball missing inside. A ball and a strike now to Rusney Castillo.
Not too many of those so far for Tomlin, mostly fastballs.
On the ground to shortstop, sharply hit. Lindor diving, gets up quickly and makes a very nice play. Good throw as well. Red Sox down in order, scoreless after an inning and a half. It's time now for tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. Would you prefer to finish the season versus a divisional opponent? Text 1 for yes, text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy.
I'm going to text 3. And that's would be I don't care.
You really don't care about that?
No, I really don't care. And I would prefer to finish at home.
So this is all about you, is what you're saying. It's kind of a selfish.
It doesn't matter who you're playing, but let's say you're in the pennant race, you know, and you're playing for a wild card spot. It'd be great to be at home for that finishing series.
This one jumps up and hits him twice, but he was in the box. A foul ball here for Chris Johnson. 0-2. Well, if you think about it, though, you're having a divisional, and let's say you're in it, and that team is ahead of you. You obviously want to have the chance to go head to head. So that part of it is. Yeah, one of the reasons.
I go along with that. Yeah, divisional, but I like it at home. How about this man-child?
Unbelievable. I was assaulted again today for the second time in the last 2 years. And today I would say was far more violent than the Fenway Park.
I saw clips of it. It was not pretty.
No, it was alarming, and I didn't really see it coming. I went to his press conference today, which was really exciting per usual. And at the end of it, I went out one door and he went out another, and we ended up in the hall at the same time. And that's where the problems began, because then I was assaulted, and I haven't decided whether or not I'm pressing charges with the local Cleveland police yet or not. Oh, we actually have the video. Here it is. It's great to see Tito. Things were going well until now. But I get some punches off here, Jerry, very soon. Once he messes up my moss completely, this gets better, because then I'm able to look at this. I'm throwing him and I'm hitting him in the fat on the side. There is so much fat on the side. It's unbelievable. I just tried to punch at an area. I mean, look at the punches I'm getting off. I'm not connected. I was late. And I got a little bit there. I was all right, but ridiculous. I think I got at least 4 quality shots into the side of the fatness.
And the problem was, it wasn't a 9-round, a 12-round fight. It was just a little bit of a tussle. I had to keep pounding him in the kitchen like that for 12 rounds. He'd have gone down.
I think so.
I mean, Tito's fragile as they come.
He really is. But it was good contact, too. I felt good about it, because by that point, the hair was just totally, it was a mess. The open was bad. Everything was bad after that, because my moss is all over the place now. And once it's messed up, you can't recover it. And as you saw, he went to work on that for a long time.
That's his M.O.
In there for a strike, and it is 1-1.
What'd you feel like? Just fat?
All I felt was fat.
No
in fact,
ribs.
I don't think it really hurt him at all, because it was just bouncing off him as I would punch him. Swing and a miss, and it is 1-2. Gary Sands batting here with 1 down in the second inning. There's a ground ball right side towards Pedroia at second base. He'll go to first for the out, and there are 2 down in the inning.
A curveball that time from Owens. Haven't seen too many of those so far in the game, and gets a little tap towards second base from Sands, and no problem for Dustin Pedroia. Here's the breaking ball from Owens, and a little excuse me swing by Sands.
It was a pitching arsenal for Henry Owens. 60% fastballs, 17 breaking balls, 23% changeups. He's got 2 down here in the second inning. Brings up Abraham Almonte. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Charging from third is Brock Holt. 266, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in for the Indians center fielder. I will say, Jerry, that it is better that it happens only once a year now with Terry Francona. Better than the days when it happened every day.
Well, and at least now you don't have to go running down the street away from him, down the Yorkie Way.
That went on for years.
It was like part of his pregame ritual. He used to play. What was that game they play? Him and Pedroia.
Cribbage.
He used to play cribbage, and then after we finished that, then he started attacking you as soon as you came into the clubhouse. It was like part of his routine every day.
It was in there. When am I going to attack or solo? It was like, I don't need this. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. And it's 2-2. I mean, it made going to the clubhouse.
Well, he used to ask me every day, every single day.
Unbelievable.
When's he coming in? What time's he coming in? And I'd say, Tito, I don't know. He opens at 3:30, probably about 3:30. So he'd be waiting sometime right behind the door.
Now look at all this tub back there that's listed as Tito. I guess that's all his stuff. I guess nobody's allowed to touch it. Oh, that's disgusting. 2-2 pitch is popped up, and it's fouled back into the seats as back comes Swihart, but no play. Probably just as well. Nobody probably wants to go by Tito's stuff, so
no.
The fact that it's labeled and it's just his bucket. 3 in a row retired here by Owens. 2 down in the second inning. Swings and pops it up left side of the infield. It's Xander Bogaerts astride on the outfield grass. Will put it away and end the second inning. Much better second for Owens. And look at these haymakers. I am connecting. Scoreless as we head to the top half of the third inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order. Brock Holt to lead it off as he takes strike one. And Brock all over positionally in the field defensively and all over in the lineup as well as he bats seventh in the order tonight. Plays at third base for Boston and grounds one up the middle and over is Lindor. His throw is in time. Another great play by Francisco Lindor, and he's been very impressive.
Yeah, he certainly has. He took a base hit away from Brock Holt. I thought that ball was going up the middle, but Lindor shows tremendous range, and on top of that plays the in-between hop and gets himself in position to make a throw to first base. That's a very nice play by Lindor.
The one down here in the third inning brings up Blake Swihart. And Swihart will take strike one. He bats out of the 8th spot for the Red Sox. Coming in hitting at .275 with 5 home runs, 31 runs batted in. 7 of 8 first pitch strikes for Tomlin, who's been impressive so far. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings giving out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. 7 in a row retired by Tomlin to get it started here. Swihart riding a 5-game hitting streak coming in. Pitch 30 for Tomlin. And Swihart on a check swing did not go, says Hunter Wintelstedt, third base umpire. Two, and that is to left field, and that'll get in for a base hit. So Blake Swihart, the first base runner of the night for the Red Sox, a 1-out single to left.
A 6-game hitting streak now for Blake as he takes a high fastball to the opposite field for the base hit. See, this ball's going to be up in the zone. Swihart goes right with it to the opposite field for the base hit. 6-game hitting streak now for Blake.
Here's Jackie Bradley Jr. with 1 out and a runner at first base. Bradley hitting at .250, 10 homers, 43 runs batted in. They play him to pull, but not a shift here as they leave on the left side. Lindor to the left of second base, their shortstop. Jackie did not have a hit last night, going 0 for 3 with a walk in the game against the Yankees as they check on Swihart at first base. 4 out of 6 in stolen base attempts for the Red Sox catcher. Bradley went 3 for 13 in the series against the Yankees in the 4 games. Takes the strike and it evens at 1-1. 26 of the last 39 hits for Jackie have gone for extra bases, 16 doubles, 2 triples, and 8 home runs. Santana holding on Swihart at first and a little closer that time, but able to get back again. Jackie truly has become an everyday guy for the most part for the Red Sox. This is 55 of the last 58 games for him, starting since coming up on July the 29th from Pawtucket. His ground ball towards second, could be 2 to second for 1, on to first. It is 2. So the double play ends the top of the third. We're through 2.5 scoreless from Cleveland. Causeway Street is sure to be busy next Thursday. Don't miss Bruins as they have the Winnipeg Jets coming into town. Get a special season preview episode of the Bricks at 6. That pregame coverage starts at 6:30, followed by the puck drop at 7. It is cold in Cleveland, but not cold in the booth. As it turns out, it's actually kind of hot. It's almost like a sauna in here. I mean, getting sun here as it works out. Alex Spear of the Boston Globe coming. We have this heat lamp above us. It is unbelievable. It's tremendous.
We feel fortunate to be under it, certainly.
We are perfectly warm here in the booth. Everyone else outside is cold. Alex Spear from the Boston Globe along with us, and Henry Owens on the mound. Alex, and it's been interesting to me in that it seems he lives up quite a bit, and he doesn't have overpowering stuff, but yet he is effective.
He doesn't limit himself in terms of what he goes after in attacking the strike zone. And, you know, that the ability to generate deception with that combination of the fastball, even though he's living a lot of the time at 89 miles an hour, 87 miles an hour tonight, because the changeup looks like a fastball coming out, his ability to work up with the fastball in turn makes the changeup a pitch that he can get swings and misses on or steal for strikes in the strike zone. It's a really interesting combination and one that you don't see a lot of pitchers living with. But Owens has proven, you know, that at least to this point, an ability to be a very effective pitcher with it. I think that he has the lowest ERA by a Red Sox rookie since like Jeff Sellers, at least for a guy of this age. And it's, you know, he's getting a ton of swings and misses. That's not the be-all end-all as a pitcher. Outs are more important than anything else. But the fact that more than 1 in 4 swings against him results in a swing and miss tells you something about the stuff being pretty deceptive and thus far very effective, I think.
And we were talking a little bit about this in our open tonight. We were talking about Owens, and you know, I at first was a little bit, you know, I wasn't quite sure he was ready for the big show. And they say, well, you can't rate guys in September, but he's faced some pretty darn good clubs in September, and I believe that he's big league ready. I mean, I really believe that right now.
That's a pretty significant commendation because you've seen a lot of guys who have been on that margin, but the poise that he's shown in jams, I think, has been something that you pay attention to. They threw him into Yankee Stadium in his major league debut, and that was in August. And I don't care, you know, I don't care what the circumstances are in the standings. You're put in that situation. That's a big deal, and he handled that with flying colors. He's been in hostile environments. He's done very well on the road, which is kind of interesting. I do think that in terms of makeup and in terms of pitcher's IQ, he has the components that do suggest a major league ready pitcher. I still think that there's probably more upside there. There's a chance that there's going to be more velocity in the tank. He's shown it at times in his professional career, which would probably allow his changeup to play up even more and make him kind of more of a more effective strikeout, bad contact pitcher. But his ability to execute is really good, and especially in pairing with Blake Swihart, they have a great dynamic dating to the fact that they've been teammates since they were on Team USA as 17-year-olds. After their high school junior year, there is just so much confidence that flows between the two of them. It doesn't look like a couple of AAA guys who have been thrown into a situation where they're out of their depth.
Okay, so we're talking about some young guys here. We're talking about Owens, we're talking about Swihart, and you're looking really at the future. And we touched on this as part of the open as well tonight of the Red Sox certainly being about their youth, and it looks very, very good right now.
It's a pretty startling thing that's happened to them over the course of it's a mid-year transformation that you almost can never see. The Red Sox had a really interesting thing happen, which was in 2013, they won the World Series. And it was with a group that they didn't necessarily realize was going to be a championship team. It wasn't with a team that you could really build around for the long term, because it was just a special, magical accumulation of players who were almost all in their 30s, 9 free agents, or seven free agents, 9 new guys brought in as outsiders who were veterans. And it was the perfect chemistry. It was the perfect fit. It was a roster that was seamless. And so they had a championship team. But it was such a close group that I think that there was difficulty for all members, all parts of the team, in some parts of the organization, in moving beyond that 2013 team. It was hard to see guys like a Jacoby Ellsbury or a Jared Saltzlemakia move on, because they had been part of something that was so special. And each time there was one of those moves, and replacing him with a Jackie Bradley Jr. or a Grady Sizemore, that was a challenging environment for those guys to step into, given what had preceded them. And I think that was there was something of a hangover there, I think, that may have affected a lot of the player acquisitions and the changes that the Red Sox made from the end of 2013 really into the early part of this year. And I think that if you look around, when did the Red Sox start playing better this year? Well, a couple of their most respected parts of that 2013 team, Shane Victorino, Mike Napoli, were traded away. And all of a sudden, those were the guys those were leaders. Those were guys who a lot of the younger players were looking to as mentors, and who they would say, okay, well, if we're trying to figure out the right way to act on and off the field in the major leagues, those are the guys we look to. Those guys were gone. And so all of a sudden, you had all of these young players who would come up through the system together, who looked around, and they didn't see those guys who they had to turn to. They all of a sudden saw, oh, this is the environment that we're familiar with, where we've been really good coming up through the farm system. And so I think that you've had, on the fly, in the middle of these, of these final couple of months of the Red Sox season, a change in the team's identity, a change in its leadership in a way. Obviously, Dustin Pedroia and David Ortiz are transcendent in terms of leaders, but they predate that 2013 team. They're Red Sox to the core. There was something different about that 2013 residue that I think changed the dynamics of the team for a while, and I think that they finally moved from that kind of halo of the 2013 team into the future, if you will.
Well, a couple of walks here, in fact, 3 now altogether for Owens after the base hit by Aviles. He walks Ramirez, runners at first and second, nobody out. Francisco Lindor, we've been enjoying watching him play defensively. Now bats.
What an unbelievable player.
Incredible.
And he's 21 years old. You're looking at the American League with Bogarts, Lindor, and Correa, 22, 21, 20. Of course, Bogarts just turned 23. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
This is we haven't seen anything like this since Nomar, A-Rod, and Jeter hit the scene all at the same time at that one special position. This is a fun dynamic that we'll be able to watch over several years to come.
From a player's point of view, you're talking about this young group coming up together. What has impressed me is the fact that they haven't been in a pennant race, and they haven't been one for a long time this season, but they are playing so hard right to the end. And as an ex-player, that's nice to see, because I've been on teams where you've been out of it and guys pack it in. Nobody's packed it in on this team, and I think that's a credit to Lovello, and I think it's a credit to Dombrowski coming in, because they want to prove to him that they can play. And I think there's a lot of things that go into that. But they're playing the game hard, and they're playing teams tough.
Totally agree. I mean, you look at that date of August 18th, which is when, in the middle of the game, we found out that Dave Dombrowski was coming on board with Ben Cherington stepping down, and that was the same time that the Red Sox players were finding out about it. When you get a piece of information like that, days after you've learned that the manager John Farrell is going to have to step aside for the duration of the season while undergoing chemotherapy treatments, that is, a team can certainly spiral downhill. You've seen it before, in which one of those shakeups in terms of a team's leadership ends up taking the team down the wrong direction. The very opposite has happened. The Red Sox have played easily their best baseball of the season since that transition to Dave Dombrowski. And I do think that part of that is as a result of, you talk to some of those young players like a Travis Shaw. He's talked explicitly about the fact that, yeah, there was a new guy around who didn't know me. I wanted to make sure that I made a great impression on the new guy and put myself in the best possible position to be a part of the Red Sox going forward. That had some kind of you can't measure it, but it had a psychological impact on the clubhouse, and it was a group of guys who had come up and who can push each other to play hard, because they've done that at different levels when, by and large, they've been competing for postseason berths in the Carolina League and in the International League and in the Eastern League coming up. I do think that there's just a lot of things happen to fall into place at the right time. And I do also think that the leadership of Torey Lovello in a very difficult circumstance has been an important part of that. Lovello, after he found out about Farrell's diagnosis, he did not feel comfortable addressing the team. John Farrell addressed the team to let them know that, about the diagnosis, to let them know about his condition, and to let them know that he wanted to see the players playing as hard as they possibly could in his absence. But Lovello was trying to fight back his own emotions at that point and to rein it in. on August 18th, when that change from Cherington to Dombrowski was introduced to the players, that was the first time that Lovullo addressed the team as a whole and kind of said, these are the expectations that we need to hold ourselves to. We are all here to win. We are all here to be evaluated, that is happening. Now the Indians hold at third. And Torey Lovullo kind of struck the right note at the right time. That helped to ensure that at that kind of fork in the road, that change of leadership where a team can probably go one way or the other, that it went in the right way. And the on-field results have been staggering, and certainly the job that Lovullo has been doing in this position has gotten nothing but raves all around the game.
It'll be interesting to see what happens for him. I mean, this has been an unbelievable audition process for him, and people are noticing. And if he's not in Boston at some point, perhaps there are going to be other teams now that he interviewed for last offseason that may be in line for him next year.
He's pretty interesting as a managerial candidate because he's obviously spent a number of years at this point interviewing for jobs. He's a guy who's brought back to interview with the same organizations multiple times. Even though he hasn't gotten that job yet, he's done nothing but create such favorable impressions that he's always kind of one of those short-list guys. And the fact that he now does have a third of a season of tremendous Major League success, and the most valuable kind of Major League success that front offices want to see, namely taking a group of young players who are moldable and molding them in the right way, getting them to win, that's pretty impactful.
This is driven to deep center field, and it is going to be off the wall. Scoring from third, Aviles Ramirez behind him, now trying to score from first, and he will as Rayburn, a bases clearing double off the wall in center field that puts the Indians on top 3-0. Carlos Santana showing some good power there to left center.
Now the game started off shaky for Henry Owens in the first inning. Had trouble finding his control. Had an easy second, but struggling here in the third inning. Santana, a good hitter, a guy that has a lot of pop in his bat, and that clearly deep enough to drive in 3 runs for Carlos Santana.
This is a kid from Huntington Beach, California. We were talking about it a little bit in the press box. You wonder how many times he's pitched in cold weather circumstances like this, whether or not there's a real difficulty getting a feel for his pitches. You look at what's happened to him in the last couple of years in the minors, in the cold weather climates of Pawtucket as well as Portland, and there have been difficulties for him getting his command and his control locked in the early parts of the season. So you've seen high walks totals in the first couple months. Tonight you're seeing more so than in most of his starts at the big league level, a real difficulty commanding the baseball, and you wonder how much of that is weather related. Of course, he's also in kind of uncharted waters in terms of his season-long workload, so that could be in play as well.
Yan Gomes coming up here with Carlos Santana at second base, 3 runs in. Alex Spear from the Boston Globe alongside here as Owens running into trouble. Walks a battery in the innings, and now 3 walks. One has finally turned into a run, and this is Gomes who takes a pitch up high.
When you look at the starting staff, and the Red Sox are probably going to finish 14th in the American League in ERA, and that's way down the bottom. And when you look at the guys that start, that's a starting staff for now, some of the veteran guys like Miley, Porcello, guys that have been around, how they've turned their seasons around, and you look toward next year, do you see parts of this rotation coming back?
Certainly parts of it. So there's this interesting component of the season. We talked about that date of August 18th, the transition. Since then, the Red Sox rotation has been, I think, the best in the major leagues by ERA. And one thing that's coincided with that, and that's pretty significant, is that their defense has been pretty completely remade. You have not had Hanley Ramirez in left field. They moved off of the Hanley experiment in left field on August 25th. You also haven't seen Pablo Sandoval, who struggled at third base for a goodly part of this year. You've seen him in maybe about half of the games they've played from that point on. Their defense has been different, and their defense has been pretty impactful behind those starting pitchers, which has made them look an awful lot different in part. Now, that shouldn't dismiss some of the struggles that Rick Porcello had giving up home runs. Defense isn't going to help that. The same is true of some of the other struggles they felt. But you can make a case that any of the guys that they have really available on their starting inventory could have value going forward, which is a good position for them, overall, because it means that it gives them flexibility. If they want to trade from that group, you can kind of figure out how the rest of the industry values those guys, and you can pick and choose your spots to trade them.
Fly ball into shallow left. The wind pushes it back towards the infield even more off the bat of Gomes, and he is out number 2 of the inning.
But getting back to that broader question, you can see Rick Porcello, I think, based on his contract, I think that's a virtual he's a virtual certainty to return, and he's looked really good down the stretch. Miley has been incredibly consistent, very much in line with his career performance. So there's a reliability there that is going to lead potentially to an interesting conversation. Scott Lauber of the Boston Herald recently made the point of, if you had to trade one of Clay Buchholz versus Wade Miley, who would you trade? You look at their performances over the last 4 years, they have a virtually identical ERA over that time in the majors, but Miley is given about 50 more innings a year on average because he's remained healthy throughout the course of his career. He doesn't have the ceiling that Buchholz has when he's healthy. Buchholz is a legitimate top of the rotation guy when he's locked in, but he also doesn't have those speed bumps that either derail his performance or that lend themselves to health issues.
The base hits to right field, going to try and score. Santana throw will go to second base, and he will score. And the Indians take a 4-0 lead, so a 2-out RBI base hit for Chris Young. And Chris Johnson, I should say, it scores Santana from second, and it's now 4-0. Indians on top.
Opposite field heading this time. And it just looks like to me it's not Henry Owens' night. I mean, he looked like he had it turned around in the second inning, but a very big third inning here for the Indians. And I'm not so sure how much longer he's going to be around for this one.
I'm not sure if they're picking up when he's working with this fastball, but the velocity is down a little bit tonight from what we've seen in previous outings for him, and he had been getting swings and misses on it in the first couple innings. I think he had 4 swings and misses on it in the first and second. I haven't seen a lot of swings and misses on it this inning, and they're taking a very nice approach, shooting the ball to all fields at this point. Pretty solid contact all around.
This is the 30th pitch of the inning for him. He's facing the 8th Indian this inning. There's a fly ball to right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is out there tracking it, and he puts it away. Alex Spear, thanks so much as always.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for letting me into your home this year, guys.
4-0. Indians have the lead. Back in Cleveland as the Red Sox trail 4-0, and leading it off here for Boston, the top of the order, Mookie Betts. So a big run in the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Indians come up with 4 of them in the inning and get to Owens. And to face 8 batters, they score 4 times in the inning. As Betts will take a ball and is ahead now 2-0. Tomlin began the game by retiring the first 7 Red Sox he faced before giving up a base hit to Blake Swire, but then quickly got a double play rounded into by Jackie Bradley Jr. and there's a strike on a swing and a miss. 2-1. Our thanks to Alex Spear for joining us this season from the Boston Globe. Always learn something from Alex, Jerry.
Yeah,
lots of things.
A lot of things.
2-1 pitch on the ground to Lindor at shortstop. And he throws out Betts for the first out here of the 4th inning. At Eastern Bank, innovation doesn't just mean making life simpler. It means finding new technology that puts your needs first. See what's new at easternbank.com. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. Cold night tonight in Cleveland, where the Red Sox and Cleveland Indians open up a 3-game weekend series. Last series of the 2015 season for the Red Sox. One down for Dustin Pedroia.
You know, Don, there's one thing I'd like to add, and we haven't really talked about this, and I think you're going to agree with me. You've been around a long time. I've been around a long time, and you know, we've seen a lot of different people, obviously, in Red Sox uniforms. But I know that the offseason's coming up, and I know it's been a disappointing season for the Red Sox. I know that we have a new baseball operations officer. But I've got to say something about this coaching staff for the Red Sox. And I've seen a lot of coaching staffs in my day in this game, going back to when I was 19 years old. And I can tell you that this coaching staff for the Red Sox is excellent. They are very hardworking. They're very conscientious. They're very, very good with young people. They are nonstop, you know, in preparation. They haven't stopped coaching because they've been out of the pennant race for the last, you know, month of the season. They coach every day, coaching right to the end. I am very, very impressed with this staff, and I quite frankly, I hope it's one that's not messed with, because I think that I really think they're superb. And I'm not just saying that, you know, because it's this group. I'm saying it because out of experience, out of groups that I've seen. I mean, there's been staffs where, you know, forget it, and not good. This is an excellent staff, and I hope it remains intact. That's just my personal opinion, and I'm talking about everybody. You know, from the coaching staff to the staff in the clubhouse, to the staff in the trainers' room, to, you know, the video staff, to everybody. They really, really work hard, and they've done it, in my opinion, the best possible job that you can do.
The one issue you do have is you do have a new president of baseball operations.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. And you know, a lot of times like to surround themselves with the people. I just think that this group deserves credit.
Absolutely
for what they. I've been very, very, very impressed.
Well, the additions this year too. I mean, Chili Davis, what a great job he has done. I mean, all of them, as you said, but certainly you take a look at the guys that he has worked with so much this year and how many have improved under his watch. Here's a line drive base hit into center field off the bat of Xander Bogaerts, and he's one of those guys, no doubt about it. Xander's got himself a 2-out base hit.
All right, that's one more closer to where he wants to go. Those 200 hits. Bogaerts with that kind of trademark inside-out swing that time into center field for the base hit. It's a pretty swing. That's resulted in a lot of pretty hits. 200 hits is a lot of hits.
He's at first base here with 2 down. Red Sox picking up just their second hit of the night off Tomlin, and here's David Ortiz.
I mean, you know, you've been around a lot of staffs too.
I agree. I totally agree, and I think it starts with work ethic for me, because this group works a lot harder than some of the past coaching staffs I have seen here.
You know, a lot of coaching staffs have monuments on them. You know, they're there because of their name, they're there because of certain reasons like that, and they don't put in the time and the work that you know, should be put in, and that always bothered me when I saw, you know, staffs put together like that. It was somebody's friend, or it was, you know, a big name or whatever it was. This staff, I'm telling you, it's a really good staff.
And I'll say this, from afar, I have always felt Brian Butterfield was one of the best coaches in the game, and that was when he was with the Blue Jays. I felt that way, and now being around him every day, I'll tell you something, this guy is one of the best coaches I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is. And you know, talk about work ethic. I mean, wow. unbelievable, off the charts, off the charts.
Now he is all in, as they say. There's no doubt about that. And he is a guy that is a tremendous coach, a tremendous instructor, really, and a great student of the game as well. We will see what happens to the staff at the end of the year, but I'm with you, Jerry, and I certainly hope that they are all returning because they're all
I really
good.
do. And they've got a great rapport. You know, when you talk about the young players that have come up, they've embraced them, and they have constantly worked with these kids, you know, to make them better players. And it's been a taxing year for everybody.
Ortiz to deep right field, and that ball is gone. Crushed to right for Big Papi. His 37th home run of the year. Red Sox get on the board with a 2-run home run by Ortiz. And it's now 4-2 Cleveland, but back come the Red Sox.
Ortiz's playing time this weekend may be limited, but he's got to make the most of it. Just telling somebody in one of those expensive seats to be quiet. Somebody must have been on him before he got up. And Ortiz takes it out of the ballpark for the home run. And as he crossed home plate, he turned to that fan and just put up his finger to be quiet.
So 2 down, bases empty thanks to that 2-run home run by David Ortiz, and it brings up Travis Shaw. 37 now for David on the year. Shaw lines it foul back into the seats. Well, in honor of David Ortiz's 500 home runs, Alltown will double their $500 donation to Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Travis Shaw flying out to the left fielder Mike Aviles in the second inning. 0 for 1. As that one runs inside for ball 2. Shifting on the right side are the Indians with Jose Ramirez in short right field. And the pitch in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Tomlin got 2 quick outs in Betts and Pedroia, but Bogarts with a base hit, then the 2-run home run by David Ortiz. Now liner the other way, opposite field base hit for Travis Shaw. So Shaw aboard with 2 down.
That's one of the things that's impressed me about Shaw. You know, I look at him, I look at his stance, I go Deadpool. But yet he has the ability to go the other way. He's shown it with power to the opposite field. He's shown it with base hits to the opposite field.
On here with 2 down in the inning, and it brings up Rusney Castillo. Grounded out to shortstop in the second. 0 for 1. 20th pitch of the inning for Tomlin, the most taxed he has been in any inning so far, and that'll drop in there for strike 1.
Still a steady diet of breaking balls for Castillo. We've seen an awful lot of that.
Well, for his last 8 at the plate. Throw to first base, and back to the bag is Shaw. The lead was not terribly large anyway, but he crosses over to get back. Pitch running in, and it is a ball and a strike to Rusney Castillo. 3 straight hits here for the Red Sox, all with 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th inning. On the ground down the first baseline, as Santana will wait for him to arrive and apply the tag on Castillo that ends the inning. Red Sox get 2 back on the 2-run home run by David Ortiz, his 37th. It's 4-2 Indians at the end of 3.5. Eastern Bank helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. The city of Cleveland, where the Red Sox and Cleveland Indians play game 1 of a 3-game series. A chilly night here tonight from Progressive Field, and Henry Owens back on the mound. As Almonte swings to the first pitch, pops it up, foul ground, and headed over to make the catch. No, he dropped it. Is Blake Swihart had a play and could not make it as he got over there towards the screen.
You know, this play's a little bit different trying to catch pop-ups as a catcher when you get back to it. There's no wall there. It's a screen. And it makes it a little bit more difficult for catches. I also think the wind had something to do with that misplay by Swihart. Certainly a ball he could have had, maybe should have had, but that time dropping it.
No play. They don't charge him with the error. And a bunt bid here, pushed by the mound towards second. Pedroia will flip glove to glove, and in time. Wow. Close play, and Almonte wants him to challenge it. As he thought he beat it out. We'll see if Terry Francona does indeed challenge. Nice play there by Pedroia, glove to glove.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I think he got him.
I think he's got him. I'll tell you, that was a beautiful bunt by Almonte. First of all, and a better play by Pedroia. See, the way the Red Sox play guys that bunt to the right side, they play them. They don't want the first baseman biting. So Pedroia will be the guy charging for the bunt. So that guarantees that first base is not open. And he just made a heck of a play shuffling it out of his glove. Second baseman, of course, have smaller gloves than anybody else on the field, and it's easier to make a play like that. But I mean, that should have been a base hit. I mean, it really should have been a base hit. It took a great play to get the out of first base.
Now Mike Avila's batting with 1 down in the inning. Yes, he'll take a pitch inside, and it's 2-0. See it again.
Now look at the position of this bunt. This is a beautiful bunt. And what you're hoping for is the first baseman bites, but the Red Sox don't play it that way. They let Pedroia make the charge. I made a living out of bunting.
Doing that.
Doing that. If it had been against the way the Red Sox defended, I wouldn't have had that long of a life.
No, living wouldn't have been too good.
No. And that was a really good bunt.
Rappers blowing around the infield here. Lots of wind, and Owens stepped off. One headed towards the mound now. Vilas with a hit his last time up, a single that got the 4-run third inning started for the Indians. There's a 2-1 pitch. And Vilas chasing the high fastball, and it's 2-2.
And he'll do that on occasion. They like to throw him up in the zone.
Foul back, and we'll do it again. 2-2. Already 77 pitches deep into his outing is Owens. On deck, top of the order, Jose Ramirez waiting on deck here for the Indians. Two-two pitch. And Avilas reaches out and hits a fly ball to right center field. Mookie Betts into right center to put it away for the second out here of the 4th inning. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down here in the 4th for Jose Ramirez, who is grounded back to the mound and walked in 2 plate appearances so far tonight. Line to left field, and that's going to get in for a base hit in front of Castillo. Second time Ramirez has been on, first time by way of a hit.
And does a good job too, staying back on the changeup from Owens. Owens got it out on a changeup to Avilas and threw almost the same pitch to Ramirez, but Ramirez picks up the base hit. There's the changeup. It's going to be away, actually off the outside part of the plate, but still reaches out and hooks it for the base hit. So that's just good hitting.
So a 2-out single here, and it brings up Francisco Lindor, who has walked and struck out. Swing at the first pitch, pops it up foul and out of play. And as far as he could, his Shaw right to the railing, but back into the crowd. Lindor coming in, hitting at .319. He's dropped down to .318 with the 0 for 1 so far here. Check it first, but back to the bag is Ramirez. 9 out of 13 for the Indians' second baseman in thefts. Another check, and he was leaning in the other direction at first, but he does get back. First, and back again is Ramirez.
I don't know, you got yourself in a pretty good groove right now. You're back to pitching and throwing strikes. I would concentrate more on the hitter.
And a very high pitch, 1-1.
You make 2-3 throws to first base. Sometimes that takes you out of your stuff, and his stuff this inning has been pretty good.
2 quick outs. Abraham Almonte to ground out to second base. Got Aviles to fly out to center. Jose Ramirez now the base hit with 2 down. 1-1 to Lindor. And that's going to miss for ball 2. Highest average among rookies coming in at .318. Let's see what he can do defensively. Runner goes at first. Here's a foul ball off to the right, out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes to Lindor. Next pitch will be the 85th for Henry Owens of his outing. And a swing and a miss as Owens able to strike out Lindor to end the inning. That's 4 strikeouts for Owens. A 4-2 Indians lead. 4-2, Indians have a lead over the Red Sox here in the top half of the 5th inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order. Brock Holt, Blake Swihart, and Jackie Bradley Jr. scheduled to bat in the inning. Red Sox getting 2 runs back in the top half of the 4th inning on the 2-run home run by David Ortiz. Brock's second look at Josh Tomlin tonight. He grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd inning. Indians with 6 hits. Red Sox have 4 in the game. 2-0. And Holt will take strike 1. Tomlin had given up 1 hit through the first 3 innings, but gave up back-to-back hits. In fact, 3 in a row with 2 outs in the 4th inning. A single by Bogaerts, a home run by Ortiz, then a single by Shaw.
That's a great shot right there of the pitcher's glove. And you know, sometimes hitters are able to pick up pitches by what pitchers do with their glove. And you notice Tomlin, now he doesn't throw a split-fingered fastball, but sometimes you used to be able to pick that up because when they went into that split grip, the fingers on the glove would open up, and that's something hitters could see. Now that doesn't mean you're going to hit the pitch, but the fact is that you knew it was coming. Now it's not the case with Tomlin because he doesn't throw a splitter.
Strike 3 call. Holt knew and takes with him the 2nd strikeout for Tomlin.
Just a fastball right here, right at the bottom of the strike zone. A good pitch, and Brock Holt knew it.
And 1 down here in the 5th inning. Blake Swihart coming up. He's singled to left field in the 3rd inning as one of the 4 Red Sox hits. Field straight away here on Swihart with Bradley Jr. waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in the 5th. And that is in there for a strike. 1-1. So why do the fingers open up on the split? Because you're pushing in to get the fingers around it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You know, when the splitter first came in as a, you know, kind of the vogue pitch, a lot of pitchers would tip it off because they put the ball in the glove, and to get that, you know, to get that, those fingers,
separate the fingers,
you could see the fingers of the glove split.
Yeah.
You know, so you could pick it up on a lot of guys. Maybe they've become so good at it now that it's very rare that it happens.
Swing and a miss, and back-to-back strikeouts for Tomlin. That's 3 Ks in all. 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Back to the fastball again, and again, it's not an overpowering fastball, but spotted very well. Inside part of the plate, a little bit off the inside part of the plate.
Meek Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down here in the 5th inning brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. Bradley grounding into the 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd inning. Pops it up into shallow right. Back goes Ramirez, the 2nd baseman, to make the catch. Wynn played with it a little bit, but he puts it away. 1-2-3, 5th inning for Tomlin. 4-2. The Indians on top. Back in Cleveland, where the Indians have a 4-2 lead, Henry Owens' pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, walked 3, struck out 4, and here's a liner foul down by the tarp area. Ryan Rayburn, the 3-hitter for the Indians, leading it off here. Pitch up high, and it is 1-1. Henry Owens walking 2 in the first inning, worked his way around that, but then in the 3rd inning, giving up 4 runs in that inning. Battling his way here into the 5th. It's had through a lot of pitches in the game tonight, nearing 90 now. This next pitch will be 89. And Rayburn will pop it up as Pedroia back a few steps on the wind's going to push it back to the dirt of the infield as he makes the catch. Everything in adventure tonight. The wind blowing in hard, and there's the first out of the bottom of the 5th. Well, tomorrow, don't miss an ACC football doubleheader at noon. Pittsburgh visits Virginia Tech. And at 3:30 on NESN Plus, the BC Eagles take on the Duke Blue Devils. Tomorrow afternoon, tune in for your college football fix on NESN and NESN Plus. We'll be with you tomorrow night for Game 2 of this 3-game series. We understand a lot of rain coming into the area tomorrow, but hopefully we'll be out of here by game time tomorrow night.
Yeah, because the last thing we want is a doubleheader on Sunday. Let's be honest. I mean, we want to play tomorrow night and have the game on Sunday at 3 o'clock and wrap it up.
Santana will take a pitch up and away, and it is 2-0. He is 2 for 2 in the game with 3 RBIs. This is double off the bottom of the wall in left center field to clear the bases. Also had a single back in the first inning, so he's been productive again tonight. He's the cleanup hitter for the Indians. 3-0 pitch, not close, and a 4-pitch walk here to Santana with 1 out. That is the 4th walk given up by Owens.
Yeah, I think more than any of the start this year, I've seen more pitches up and out of the strike zone from Owens than we've had in any of the starts previous to this. He's still leading the lead with walks with 107.
1 out, 1 on. Yan Gomes coming up here, 0 for 2 in the game. The catcher for the Indians. He has struck out, flied out to left. Another pitch up, so Swihart headed out to talk to Owens here. Willis has already been out there a couple of times tonight to talk to Owens. He's out there in the 1st and again in the 3rd. Pitch inside, it is now 2-0. Pitch high, and it is now 3-0.
Again, high with that fastball, and you know he throws a lot of high fastballs, but they're usually around the top of the strike zone.
7 in a row right now. As he walked Santana on 4 pitches. Now a 3-0 pitch coming up here, and there's a strike as he gets that one over. Short lead at first for Santana. And a fly ball headed out towards right center field. Mookie Betts going back onto the track. He leaps at the wall, and that's off the wall. Around from first comes Santana, going to try and score. Here comes the throw from center field, off the mark, and the run is in as the Indians take a 5-2 lead on a double off the wall in right center field off the bat of Yan Gomes.
A nice effort by Betts out center field, but too far to go and too high to jump to make a play there. And Dennis Gomes going deep out there. That probably would have been a home run and the wind not been blowing in. And actually when Mookie jumps, the ball lands underneath him. But he just couldn't reach it. He couldn't get to it. Bradley throws it all the way in, but is not going to be anywhere near in time.
Willis out there again with one out here in the inning and a run in. Well, can't make it to the Globies on Tuesday. Nesson has you covered. Watch the Globie Awards ceremony Saturday, October the 10th at 10 p.m. See who goes home with the hottest new awards in the Boston sports scene. The Globies on Nesson are presented in part by Tufts Health Plan. Red Sox have action in the pen. Right-hander Jonathan Arrow warming up in the pen. So one out here in the inning. Yan Gomes at second base, a run in, and Chris Johnson the batter. And they'll bounce in for ball one. Well traveled Chris Johnson now. To the walking lead at second base. Really trying to keep him close, cheating in towards the bag. And that'll miss. 2-0. Big gap out in left center field as Betts is over in right center. You see the pitches per start for Owens at 100 now. And the gap out there in left center field. Now a base hit through the left side. Having to wait was Gomes, so he'll take third base now on the single by Chris Johnson, and the Indians have runners at first and third with one out.
Now Johnson's had a good night. Two for three on the night at RBI, and now picks up this single off Owens. He does get the ball down that time, but it's a good solid contact by Johnson.
So first and third, one out, a run in. And coming up here is Jerry Sands, 0 for 2 in the game. Sands has grounded out to second, flied out to right. And swinging a foul tip for a strike one. Sands last year spending time with the Tampa Bay Rays, 12 games with Tampa Bay. And a sharply hit ball by the dive at third to Holt down the left field line to the corner. In from third is Gomes. As Johnson will stop at third base, it is an RBI double for Jerry Sands, and the Indians take a 6-2 lead.
Just start the night tonight for Henry Owens. I mean, a lot of pitches up in the zone. When he gets down over the plate, it's over the plate, over the middle of the plate, and getting hit pretty good here tonight. There's the breaking ball that just stays middle. And Sands with a double by the dive of Brock Holt.
So second and third, 2 runs in, still only 1 out in the inning. And Abraham Almonte coming up here now for the Indians, 0 for 2 tonight. Along Torey Lovullo stays here with Owens. Infield in all the way around as Owens misses for ball one. Monte has popped out to short, grounded out to second base, getting his third look at Henry Owens. Monte went around, I think. They check. He did, says first base umpire David Rackley. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. Good 6 pitches now for Henry Owens, working here in the 5th inning with 1 out. Only 2 more runs here in the inning. As the Indians had a 4-0 advantage at one point in this game. They have their 4-run lead back on top 6-2 and looking for more with runners at second and third. Almonte lifts a little bloop into shallow left, falling fast and falling for a hit. From third base scoring is Johnson. Throw goes to third, and staying at second base was Sands as Cleveland takes a 7-2 lead now.
Yeah, nobody really had a chance at that. So certainly not Castillo, and Bogart's trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch, but the ball drops in, and that's going to be the night for Owens.
So Jonathan Arroyo will be coming in here as Owens lasts 4 1/3 innings, as it turns out tonight, and departs responsible for 2 men on. It is a 7-2 Cleveland lead. Wednesday night, catching all new episode of Behind the Bee. Go behind the scenes of the Bruins as they make their way through the preseason and get ready for their season opener on October the 8th. Don't miss Behind the Bee Wednesday night at 8. Henry Owens' night tonight, no doubt about that, as the Indians have got to him for 7 runs so far. He leaves responsible for runners at first and second, and into the game here for the Red Sox as Torey Lovullo sits with Henry Owens, who's Jonathan Arroyo, right-handed pitcher. And standing in is Mike Aviles with runners at first and second and 1 down. Pinch hitter here, Lonnie Chisenhall, who will take ball 1. Those 6th appearance, 0-1 with an 8.22 earned run average, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponent sitting at 400 against Arroyo. There's a fly ball to shallow left field. In comes Castillo. And Rusney will make the catch for the second out of the inning. No advance for the base runners. Sands remains at second. Almonte at first.
Now hitting for the Indians, number 11, Jose Ramirez.
He's up the top of the order, Jose Ramirez. Indians have now sent 8 men to bat here in the 5th inning. Ramirez has grounded back to the mound, walked and scored and singled. It's a fly ball out towards center field. Mookie Betts headed back. Wendell knocked that down, and he'll get there to make the catch to end the inning. 3 runs in the inning for the Indians. They take a 7-2 lead. Let's check out the Red Sox box score. 7-2, the Cleveland Indians on top of the Red Sox here as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. And it is Mookie Betts leading it off and fouling it back to our right. The changes as Lonnie Chisenhall stays in the game after pinch hitting, takes over in right field. Moving from right to left is Jerry Sands. Indians getting 3 runs in their half of the 5th inning to up their lead now to 7-2. Josh Tomlin ready with his 70th pitch. And it drops in there for a strike. That's down 0-2. Mookie has struck out swinging and grounded out to shortstop. Followed by Pedroia and Bogarts here in the 6th inning. Seven runs, 10 hits, no errors for Cleveland. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox. On the line on Owens, who went 4 1/3, giving him 10 hits, 7 runs. Walked 4, struck out 4. Giroux able to retire both batters that he faced when coming in. Tough night tonight for the Red Sox starter and a cold night from Cleveland. There's a fly ball hit well to center field. Almonte going back, but the wind knocking that down, and even so it gets to the edge of the track. And Betts retired for the first out of the 6th inning. Well, it's time now to check out the results of tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked, would you prefer to finish the season versus a divisional opponent? And everybody thinks yes. Well, not everybody, but 85% think yes.
Well, you know, Don, it's kind of a quirk in the schedule, obviously, that we're here the last series of the year in Cleveland. And we got in late, very last night, very lately, but I set the alarm early this morning and I went out to the grocery store because I know that with the long winter coming up that you would need some of your Berkman mustard.
Very nice, very nice.
So
this is great. Do you know that after you busted me for stealing mustard in Cleveland, that the Cleveland Indians are kind enough to send me mustard every offseason, so that I don't need this mustard from you because I get a box of it every year. Cleveland Indians.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I got up this morning after getting in late last night.
Yeah, this is
getting
great.
to bed about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, but this is a small bottle, and it's not going to cut it because they send me like tubs of this stuff.
Can you at least?
Well, I'm good. Thank you very much. It's a great thing. I'm happy. Thank you very much for getting up so early this morning, especially when we get in so late. But after they busted me for stealing mustard, they decided that I should just have some. Actually, they didn't bust me. You busted me. Because I had it in my bag. He's going around that time and striking out is Pedroia. Couldn't hold up. That's 4 strikeouts now for Tomlin.
I'm still beside myself. I mean, you can't even say thank you for the effort.
Oh, no, I thank you very much.
But you don't want the mustard?
I don't want the mustard. I have more mustard than I know what to do with.
Mike,
so you can give it to Mike.
Give it to the cafeteria. He doesn't want my mustard. He's got his own.
I really appreciate it, though. It's great. It's a great gesture. Thank you for getting up so early. But I've gotten to the point where I don't even like it anymore. I have had so much mustard over the years, and it's great. I mean, I think it's still the best mustard anywhere. But yes, I was caught by you 4 or 5 years ago borrowing some mustard from the cafeteria. Borrowing its way into my bag, and you called me out. It was.
We've had more mustard deliveries to the booth in Boston than anybody in baseball. But I was thinking about you, because you got the long winter coming up, and we hadn't been here all year long, so you never had time to pilferage any mustard.
No, that's true.
So I figured I'd go out to the grocery store and buy you some, and all I get is give it back to me because I don't need it.
I'm good. This one has popped up foul off to the right. Yeah, I have enough mustard that would get me through like 2021, I think, at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Okay, well, don't expect anything else.
Let me ask you, would you like some of that mustard? When you get back home, I'll send some to you.
No.
I've been using it as Christmas gifts now for years.
Regifting?
Everybody gets mustard from me.
Regifting stolen mustard.
2-2 pitch to Bogarts. And that'll straighten him up. It is a little cold here tonight in Cleveland. Payoff pitch. And that is going to miss for a ball. Close pitch, a little bit low. And Xander aboard after 2 walks last night. It's his first walk tonight.
Hitting for Boston.
That'll give David Ortiz a chance. David has grounded out to second, and last time up hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Center fielder Abraham Almonte over towards right center field. In fact, everybody playing David DePaul will be in the infield or the outfield.
Back in the 4th inning, David with a 2-run shot on a fastball that was down and in. Only 2 runs the Red Sox have in this game tonight. Home run number 37 for David Ortiz.
High and away. Throw first, and back is Bogart. Santana holding him on. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Mookie Betts flying out to center to begin the inning. Pedroia striking out. Bogart's walking. Home run earlier, the 503rd for David Ortiz. One more to tie Eddie Murray. Chop to first. Santana's got it. Tags the bag and ends the inning. We played 5.5 tonight from Cleveland. 7-2. The Indians on top. Seven to 2. Indians have the lead over the Red Sox as we head here to the bottom of the 6th inning. Everybody bundled up here in Cleveland.
They got a fireworks show tonight after the game.
Really?
Tonight and tomorrow night.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's why there's so many people here tonight.
Kind of wondering about that, actually, to be honest with you. Looking around, it's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah.
All things considered, the weather and everything else.
It's fireworks night, so it'd be great for us. We could sit right here in the booth and watch them after the game. We enjoy that.
I'm going to go to Terry Francona's press conference is what I'm going to do. And have a chance to go down and see Tio one more time. They asked him today if he thought Torey Lovullo would be a good choice to be the manager of the Indians in 2016. Didn't go over well in the press conference. Although the Cleveland media seem to enjoy it. That's Tito's bucket. I can't believe he has his own bucket with his name on it. It's like,
I don't even want to know what's in that bucket. Don't even want to know.
Look at that. It's like a little kid. He's got his own bucket. It's his stuff. One is fouled off. That's new. I did not know that. That's the first time I've seen that. It's clear that it's his, though, right? I mean, that
yeah,
much.
And don't anybody get near it. You know.
Filled with gross stuff. 1-2 pitches up high.
Probably got Pepto-Bismol in there.
All kinds of stuff. Do you remember he used to keep that on his desk?
Oh,
it was an enormous
like a pharmacy
tub of Pepto. 2-2 pitches, slap foul off to the left out of play. Francisco Lindor, Ryan Rayburn, Carlos Santana to bat here in the 6th inning. Very high, and that's ball 4. So Lindor down to first base. That's the 5th walk given up by Red Sox pitching in the game. It's time out for Game Break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Let's check in with Adam. All right, Ab, thanks very much. Back here in Cleveland, where the Indians have a 7-2 lead over the Red Sox. Cleveland batting here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Francisco Lindor has walked to begin things here in the 6th, and Ryan Rayburn now the batter. Throw over and a little closer that time, but off the bag. Shaw had to come to reel that in.
Yeah, Lindor already with a solo base tonight, 12 total on the season.
He stole a base back in the 1st inning. Rowe has not worked since the homestand against Baltimore last Saturday through a scoreless 9th inning. Not appear in the series against New York. 4 major league stints this year, 4 in a row with the Red Sox. Made his major league debut back on June 25th with Boston. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 91. He was a guy that started the season at Double-A Portland in the Eastern League and then moved up to Pawtucket. His combined Double-A, Triple-A numbers this year, 3-3 with a 3.04 earned run average. Had 2 saves. Sitting at 212 against him in 34 overall games.
You know, I'm really taken back by the mustard thing, and I'll tell you why. What it reminded me of is like me trying to give my wife a Christmas gift, because it always goes back.
Yeah.
and that I had that same feeling in my stomach when you sent the mustard back.
You're really bad at getting gifts, I think. I think that's one of the things that,
it goes back.
Right.
It's like when they open the package, and you can see them opening the package, and they look and they go, oh. And right away, I know it's going back.
Right back.
Right back.
Yeah.
And
did you keep the receipt? Is a question I think you probably get a lot.
Yeah. And they always say, I like it.
It's just not my style.
But you know, let me think about it.
Rayburn strikes out here. It's the first strikeout for a row. Well, I didn't have to think about this. I really didn't. And I feel bad about it because I've got so much mustard I don't know what to do with it. I really don't. It's just too much. And I guess if you were to buy Phoebe something for Christmas, and I could see where I think you need to think more about what it is that you're buying.
I'm a terrible shopper.
Yeah.
I cannot shop. I absolutely cannot shop, and I have no idea what is nice, what's not nice, what. I usually go by price. Like I figure if price is expensive, it's nice. I don't know. But that's not the way to shop. And that's a good idea. The truck should just have Guerin shop for me maybe this year.
There you go.
Jared, that's one thing I'm very good at is shopping. If you ever need somebody, call me. I'll help you out.
Yeah, I do. I need a personal shopper for Christmas. That's what I really need, because for the last, I would say, at least 15 years, everything has gone back. Gone back.
And I don't see you spending a lot of time shopping either.
No, I don't.
I'm sure it's a very quick purchase. It's walk in, it's whatever I see immediately, and then that's it.
You're exactly right.
That's what I had a feeling. I know you pretty well.
I'm not one to walk around in different stores. I got something on my mind. I get it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, holding the ball a long time, trying to keep Lindor close to the bag at first.
I'm going to take Darren up on that. I think. I don't know how my wife would feel about it, but I'm not, if I get a personal shopper.
I don't have a problem shopping anywhere. I actually went shopping this morning. I went to get coffee, and we're in a mall, and I ended up coming home with several bags. So I have that problem everywhere I go. So anytime, Jerry, I'm in.
Well, look, in your travels, if you see anything that might be something nice for Christmas, just go ahead and pick it up.
Well, you can ask Don. I bought myself some sunglasses the other day. Maybe we could go use some of those too.
Anything that's a keeper. Anything that's a keeper, once.
And one pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Well, she bought these sunglasses that are enormous. I mean, they're like huge sunglasses. I mean, like really, really big.
Yeah.
And they're very, very expensive. I don't spend a lot of money on sunglasses, but
I don't know.
I mean, it was very, very nice. Just swing and a miss here. Santana strikes out. Back-to-back Ks.
Got to do a promo now. They want to do a promo.
Yep, there we go. And it is Sunday on the season finale at Nesson Clubhouse. Look back at the best moments of the year. You'll see some never-seen-before bloopers. Don't miss the season finale at Nesson Clubhouse Sunday at 1:30. Presented by Delta Dental in Massachusetts. The eye black. I didn't see that episode. So 2 down. Lindor in first base, and it brings up Yan Gomes, who fouls it back to the screen. He struck out in the first, flied out to left in the third, and then doubled to drive in a run in the fifth. Indians getting 4 in the third, 3 in the fifth, taking a 7-2 lead here into the 6th inning. And Rowe trying to work his way around. A leadoff walk here in the 6th inning to Lindor. Proceeded to strike out Rayburn and Santana. I think it's a strike in there to Gomes.
High changeup that time for the strike right at the top of the letters. Not exactly where Rowe wants it, but got the strike call anyway.
Fouled off to the right. Still 1-2. Owens has started tonight for the Red Sox. 4 1/3, 10 hits, 7 runs. He walked 4, struck out 4. Well, the Red Sox into the pen. 20-pitch innings so far for Rowe. And that is on the outside corner. Ends up striking out the side. We have played 6 tonight from Cleveland. The Tribe on top 7-2. 7-2. Cleveland on top of Boston. As we head to the 7th inning. Josh Tomlin as his pitching line, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He's walked a batter, struck out 4. Travis Shaw leading it off here in the inning, and an off-balance cut for strike 1.
Been a nice job tonight by Tomlin. He's really done a nice job spotting his pitches, mixing them up, basically fastball, sliders, few change-ups, not that many. Good location with his fastball.
In there for strike 2. That's a tough pitch right there in the corner.
Yeah, he's made 2 nasty pitches to Shaw in the first batter of the 7th.
Shaw's fly to left, single to left, has one of the 4 Red Sox hits in the game. Swing and a miss, and Shaw strikes out. That's 5 Ks and 4 down the last 3 innings. So that strikeout total climbing for Tomlin. Hey, Red Sox Nation, start earning rewards for every Dunkin' run. Enroll any DD card online at ddperks.com. The Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Well, double-barreled action. Jeff Manship and Kyle Crockett warming in the pen. Is Rusney Castillo takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Does that look different to you, that bullpen out there?
Yeah, that's different this year. They've doubled up. They put both the visiting and home bullpens in the same area. Remember, they used to be in like a tunnel?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it now.
Very close towards center field. Remember, I used to complain about it because I always thought they had a very good angle at looking in and stealing signs.
Yeah, you're right.
The Red Sox bullpen was down the right field line, and now there are seats in that area.
Yeah, the corner now over there, there's stuff in the corner that's all inside.
Yep. They've made a few changes here. They've got the retired numbers up on the top deck in right field. There they are.
This will get away, but nobody on, so not a problem. Full count. Retired number is honored here at Progressive Field in Cleveland. There's ball 4, and Rusney Castillo works a walk here with 1 out in the inning. That's the second walk given up by Tomlin. They've come in the last 2 innings. Hurling, the world's fastest field sport, returns to Fenway Park as part of an Irish festival on November the 22nd. For more information on the match featuring Dublin and Galway and the Irish Festival, visit redsox.com/Irish Festival.
When I think of hurling, I don't think of a sport.
No, huh? Not the fastest field sport? It's foul back. That's a quote that'll live on, I think, probably, huh? One on, one on.
That'll be a dangerous 3 days.
Yeah, very well could be. One out, one on. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Castillo. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Blake Swihart waiting on deck with 1 out here in the 7th. Called. More stuff coming onto the field from the wind. For first, and back to the bag is Castillo.
I don't know. You got a 5-run lead. You know, I understand you don't want Castillo running, but you're in a great groove pitching right now. Red Sox haven't had a hit since back in the 4th inning. I'd just be throwing the ball at home plate.
They do now, and there's a ground ball base hit into left field with the third baseman in just out of the reach of Johnson and into left field.
Now Brock Holt picks up his first hit of the night, 1 for 3, as he slaps it right by Chris Johnson, and here he comes.
Terry Francona out to make the pitching change as the base hit here just finds its way through that left side. Johnson stride two in on the grass, easily gets by him. That's a night for Tomlin to depart with a 7-2 lead. Pitching change from Cleveland. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. Adam, Jim, and Steve will break down tonight's game. Have the latest on the MLB playoff races. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 7-2. The Indians on top of the Red Sox. One out here in the top half of the 7th inning. And a pitching change here for the Indians as coming into the ballgame here after Tomlin goes the first 6 and a third innings is Jeff Manship. His 31st appearance, 1-0 ERA under 1 at 0.97. 31 strikeouts, 9 walks, and opponents sitting at 163. Part of what has been a very good pitching year for the Cleveland Indians. And Blake Swihart, the batter here, with 1 out. Rusney Castillo at second base. Brock Holt at first. Responsibility of the starter Josh Tomlin. Swihart's ground ball, double play ball to the shortstop. Lindor throws on to first, makes it look easy, and on one pitch, Manship out of the jam here in the 7th. It's 7-2 Indians. Billy and Jenny come to you from a local restaurant in Charlestown. Find out where 3 great spots for fall squash dishes are and hear from a spokesperson for the Dining Playbook Gala charity. Share our strength. Don't miss Dining Playbook tomorrow at 9. I totally forgot. You are a good gift giver. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot about the great gift that I received from you this year, the lamp.
Yeah.
In Fenway Park. Now
you got a lot of use out of that.
I did.
Yeah.
Used it all season, and I appreciate it. So I had forgotten about that entirely. I learned it on Twitter by several people that you did give me a very nice gift, and I did like it. It was one that I did not return. Chris Johnson leading it off here. Another inning of relief for a row. Johnson, Sands, and Almonte scheduled to bat here in the inning. 6, 7, and 8. A row had been stretched out to Pawtucket. AAA could go a while, and that was one of the options for the Red Sox a few times this year since his return. 3 balls and a strike. Johnson has been on twice with 2 hits. After striking out in the second, singles to right in the third, and a single to left in the 5th. Big swing and a miss there, and it's a full count. In there for strike 3, and that is 4 strikeouts in a row now for a row. There's the first out of the 7th inning.
Stepping in for the try.
Well, right now his ticket is your tickets to all Boston Bruins, Boston Celtics, and New England Patriots games. Visit aceticket.com for the best seats at the best prices. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket.
Well, that last pitch was a surprise to Johnson. He got a changeup. And a very good changeup. Completely fooled him. So as Don mentioned, 4 in a row. For a row.
Terry Sands batting with 1 out. Started the game in right field. Now the left fielder. There's a fly ball foul down the right field line, out of play. Pitch is high, and it's 1-2. 4 strikeouts in a row for Jonathan Arrow. Huh?
I already said that.
No, you did. I stole your stuff.
I said that's 4 in a row for a row.
I wasn't listening. I guess I must have heard it and didn't realize it, and then ran it out there as my own.
Well, it's copyrighted.
Here's a fly ball to right. Bradley going back, struck well, and that ball is gone. Up and over into the seats as Jerry Sands has himself a home run, his 4th. And the Indians add on to their lead on top 8-2.
Well, had the Indians had this kind of offense during the season, they would have been probably going to the playoffs because their pitching has been great. But the offense has really struggled, but not tonight. That breaks up the string of 4 in a row, and it's like a hanging breaking ball that time. Just stays middle of the plate and to the opposite field goes Sands for the home run. And that's against the strong wind.
So 1 down, 8-2 now. Indians on top, and here is Abraham Almonte, center fielder for the Indians. Sox have more action in the pen as Roman Mendez warming. Outside to Almonte, 2-1. Yank that down into the dirt. Ball 4, and there's the second walk given up by a row. This one comes with 1 out in the inning. Let's stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. Adam, Jim, and Steve will have the 2015 Red Sox Plays of the Year. Will's pitching coach headed out here to talk to a row with 1 out and a runner at first base.
You know, Don, we talk a lot about our travel. You know, we have a good time when we travel. And last night, we all have certain areas of the plane that we sit on, and those become our seats for the year, you know, and right behind me is always Joe DeStig. And last night, Joe must have been in a music-type mood because he had his earphones in, and he was singing to the top of his...
Really?
I mean, just belting it out.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the song was. He's an awful singer.
Really bad.
And I couldn't make out what songs, you know, he was, but I mean, he was into it all the way from New York to Cleveland.
Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I sit much further back from that area there. I know that Joe's headsets, you usually can hear Joe's music, but I've never heard Joe sing. That's a first.
He was belting it out last night.
Wow. Huh.
Belted it out. Well, he was once a DJ, right?
Yes, he used to spin the hits.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the day. And I believe it was in Cleveland as this one is in the air to left field as Castillo is over and under to make the catch for the second out. Yeah, Joe's career, I believe, started here with the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, I believe so. And then came to the Boston Red Sox after that. Joe's been here over 30 years. But what a voice. I mean, it was really brutal. I kept looking back. At first, I thought he was just talking to himself, you know, because he's done that before, too. But this time he was singing because he had his...
and he couldn't make it out. Huh?
I could not make out one word of what he was saying.
Ramirez will take the strike here as Jose Ramirez bats for the 5th time tonight. He's grounded back to the mound, walked, singled, and flied out to center. There's a fly ball out to center field. Mookie Betts makes his way to right center and puts it away to end things in the 7th. Home run by Jerry Sands. It's 8-2 Cleveland. Check out the box score. Let's take a closer look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, as it'll be Craig Breslow getting his second start this season out of the pen, primarily with the exception of one start, which was Saturday, 4 innings. Give up no runs, pitched very well. Corey Kluber on the mound tomorrow for the Tribe. Monday against Minnesota took the loss. Closer Look was brought to you by FW Web Selection Expertise Solutions. More at fwweb.com. As we head here into the 8th inning, Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off here in the 8th. Kluber getting the start in game 2 of the night game here tomorrow night. Then Sunday, a 3 o'clock game from Cleveland, the finale of the 2015 season. Jeff Manship back on the mound again. On one pitch, he was able to induce a 6-3 double play by Blake Swihart. That one is down low, and did it hit him? It did. It also looked like it ricocheted and got Yan Gomes. So not only the hitter, but the catcher.
That's 2 for the price of 1 right there, as Gomes is limping around and Bradley on his way down to first base. Take another look. Looked like a breaking ball that gets Bradley right off the top of the foot, and then came back to get Gomes. So painful for both guys.
So lead runner on here for the Red Sox, Jackie Bradley Jr. at first base after being hit by the pitch. And here's Mookie Betts. Mookie hitless in the ball game, 0 for 3. He struck out swinging, grounded to short, and flied out to center. Gomes headed out here to talk to Manship. Jeff Manship from Austin, Texas. First year here with the Cleveland Indians, spent last year with the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a fly ball foul down the right field line out of play. Working at the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins. A 14th round pick by the Twins back in 2006. Signed by the Indians this past offseason, a minor league free agent contract. Had a very good year here with the Indians out of the pen. Is 2-1. Is going to miss. 3-1 down to Betts. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the top half of the 8th inning, trailing by 6 runs. Ball forward, he walks Betts. Last thing he wanted to do here with a 6-run lead. So he's hit a batter, walked a batter now in the 8th. First walk allowed by Manship. He'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station behind Section 12 of the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. 2-1, nobody out here in the 8th, and Pedroia coming up. 0 for 3 is grounded out to short, lined out to right, and struck out swinging. In there for strike 1. Bradley at second base, Betts at first. In the dirt, nicely picked by Gomes to his right. More action for the Indians in the pen as Crockett is up. He had been up earlier, back up again. on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. Foul down the right field line, out of play. Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have highlights from the Bruins' final preseason matchup with the Capitals. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Bradley Jr. hit by a pitch. Betts walked, 2 on, nobody out. Joyer reaches out, pops it up, shallow right. Back goes Ramirez, the second baseman, and he'll make the catch. And the first out here of the 8th inning.
Pretty good breaking ball that time by Manship. It had Dustin reaching for a ball that was down and away, maybe a little bit off the plate.
Number 2, Xander Bogaerts.
And definitely off the plate, down low, but a slider right there that Pedroia just pops up to second base.
1 out, 2 on, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts has flied out to right, singled to center, and walked in the game. After he singled to center in the 4th inning, came around to score on the 2-run home run by David Ortiz. As we have seen lately, late in games, David Ortiz coming out of the lineup, and that is the case again tonight. Devin Marrero has come out on deck to pinch hit for Ortiz. Pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not. His first base umpire, David Rackley. Two on here for the Red Sox. 1 out in the 8th. And still coming in here in Cleveland. 2-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Leonard didn't think so. 2-2.
Well, he thought that ball was a little bit too low, and according to the Amica strike zone, it did appear to be a little bit low.
Swing and a miss, and Bogaerts strikes out, so Manship comes back to get him. That's the first strikeout for Manship. 2 down here in the 8th inning.
He showed a pretty good slider since coming into the ballgame. It's not one of those big sweeping breaking balls, but very tight and late breaking. That time gets him to chase the outside pitch after the inside strike that was called on the pitch before.
So 2 down here in the 8th. Runners at first and second. And here's Devin Marrero pinch hitting for David Ortiz in the 8th inning. First career pinch hit opportunity for Marrero. It's been a few starts at third base for the Red Sox lately, and Played all 4 games of the series in New York. Went 3 for 16 in the series against the Yankees. Move in the winning run, in fact, on Wednesday night to break the 5-5 tie with an RBI single in the 11th inning. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Manship, with 2 outs and 2 on here in the 8th. In the dirt, another good play by Gomes to his right to block that. Foul off to the right out of play, and it's 1-2. But tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, Steve will be back and look back at some of the best moments from the pregame show this season. Devin Marrero pinch hitting with 2 on and 2 down here in the 8th. Is really picking up now.
Yeah, really blowing hard, and that's the reason Manship just stepped off the mound. Hoping it'll die down a little bit.
Did he go? No, he did not, says Rackley. A little close there, but Marrero able to hold up. Jr. got hit by a pitch. Betts with a walk. Then Pedroia popped out to second. Bogart struck out swinging. Now deuces are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Devin Marrero. And a swing and a miss. Manship comes back to strike him out and end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 8-2 Indians. Boston Red Sox baseball and NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. And by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. A chilly night in Cleveland, where the Red Sox trail the Indians 8-2 as we head here to the bottom of the 8th inning. Josh Rutledge taking over at second base for Dustin Pedroia. Red Sox trailing here 8-2, and the new pitcher for the Red Sox, Ramon Mendez, into the game. His 15th appearance, 0-1, a 5.68 earned run average. 10 strikeouts, 7 walks, and opponents hitting at 283 against Mendez. Francisco Lindor leading it off and popping it up short center field as the wind knocks it down, but Betts able to run underneath it and make the catch for the first out here in the 8th.
For the drive, batting for Rayburn, number 36, Jesus Aguilar.
So 1 out, and it brings up Ryan Rayburn. Marrero stays in the game, and he takes over now at shortstop. So Bogart's coming out of the game for the Red Sox tonight. Ryan Rayburn is not going to bat. Jesus Aguilar will bat in his place here, a pinch hitter. Rayburn had been 1 for 3 with a single and a walk in this game, scoring a run. Aguilar hitting at .231. In the dirt, and it's 2-0. The Red Sox no longer have a DH. With Ortiz being hit for by Marrero. Marrero staying in the game at shortstop. 2-0 pitch. And a ground ball down the line at third. A fair ball out of the reach of Holt. Headed down towards the corner. Castillo will go dig it out, but Aguilar into second base standing with a 1-out double.
Now, a lot of doubles in this game tonight for the Cleveland Indians, and a few of them right down that third base line. So Aguilar, after sitting around in the cold weather all night, well off the plate, but gets a fastball inside, and he's able to hook it right down the line for the double. Here's the dive and attempt by Brock Holt, but hit too hard to make get any leather on it.
So they're shifting here on Carlos Santana. Santana singled to center, doubled to center, walked and struck out. And Santana will take it away. 2-0. Mendez last pitching on Wednesday night. Finished the 9th inning. Third appearance in a Red Sox uniform. Named off waivers from Texas back on September the 11th. Spent most of the year at AAA Round Rock, where he went 3-2. 30 games AAA for the Rangers. That'll drop in there for a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Carlos Santana. He's actually originally signed by the Red Sox as an international free agent in 2007, and part of a 4-player trade that brought Jared Saltalamacchia to Boston back in July of 2010. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Now 1 on. 2-2 pitch is popped up foul off to the left out of play. Fly down to center. Aguilera with a double down the third base line, has him at second base. Mendez here dealing with Carlos Santana, ready with a 2-2 pitch. And it is off the outside edge. Mendez wanted it, but it is a ball. 3-2.
Yeah, long look in by Mendez, but that ball, good. Ball and a half, 2 balls off the plate. I mean, you'd love to have that pitch if you're a pitcher, but certainly not in the strike zone.
Sprayed foul off to the left, and we'll do it again. 3-2. The Tuesday night celebrate New England's top athletes, coaches, and teams at the Globies, presented by Mercedes-Benz, with a guest list that includes Doug Flutie, Taylor Twellman, and many more. The Globies is gearing up to be the biggest night in local sports. Buy your tickets now at bostonglobe.com/Globies. 3-2 pitch. And it's outside, ball 4. And down to first base goes Santana. Mendez walking Santana.
Now batting for the Indians, catcher Yan Go.
H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation's commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. Yan Gomes batting here with 2 on, 1 away in the 8th. Has struck out, flied out to left, doubled, and struck out looking. His double in the 5th picked up an RBI, 45th of the year for the Indians catcher. Here's ground ball to shortstop as Marrero goes to second for 1, on to first. It is in time. Close play. Had trouble getting it out of the glove. Did Rutledge at second. Ends the 8th. We head to the 9th. 8-2 Indians. with a tough start tonight for the Red Sox. 4 in 13 hits, 7 runs. David Ortiz with a home run, his 37th of the year, 504th of his career. Tomlin, 6 1/3, giving up 2 earned runs. Santana, 2 for 3 in this game, and a home run for Jerry Sands, a solo shot, all part of the Cleveland 8-2 lead over the Red Sox. Now the new pitcher in here, 3rd of the night for the Indians, Kyle Crockett, appears in his 30th game. No record, a 4.32 earned run average, 16 2/3 innings, 14 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .267 against Crockett. Takes over for Jeff Manship, who went an inning in 2/3, no hits, no runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. And the Red Sox coming to bat here in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by 6 runs. Travis Shaw leading it off. Shaw takes strike 1. Indians on the shift on the right side. Shaw tonight has flied out to left, single to left, and last time up struck out swinging. 7 strikeouts tonight for Indians pitching. And a foul off himself. It's 0-2. Pitch, and that is in the dirt. 1-2.
Kind of a strange delivery, as it looks like he's going to come over the top. All of a sudden he drops down to the side. Looks like he's going to come to the top right here, but then drops that arm down to the side.
In the air down the left field line. Long run here for Johnson, but no play. It's about 4 rows deep out of his reach. Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview Craig Breslow's start tomorrow against the Indians. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Travis Shaw leading it off here in the 9th inning. And a ground ball to shift on. It's the 3rd baseman, Chris Johnson, who throws it over to get Shaw for the first out here in the 9th inning. And one down for Rusney Castillo. Castillo tonight has grounded out to short, grounded out to first, and walked. There's a liner to right field as Chisenhall comes in to make the running catch for the 2nd out of the 9th inning. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game, part of the 3rd inning, a 4-run 3rd inning, and it's Carlos Santana with the bases loaded, hitting one off the bottom of the wall in left center field that scores 3 runs. They would go on to score another one and jump out to the 4-0 lead, but Carlos Santana with a 3-run double. 2 down now in the 9th, and Brock Holt, the batter. He has grounded out to short, struck out looking, and singled to left. In there for strike 1. Tomlin, the starter, the pitcher of record for the Indians. One starter for the Red Sox on the hook for Boston, as Holt will take the strike, and he's down 0-2.
A lot of options for Crockett now, dropping down to the side, can throw that big breaking ball away from Brock Holt. See if he'll chase it.
No 2 pitch. And it's down and away, and it's 1-2 now to Holt.
Tempting.
Fouls it off, stays alive. Mike Swihart waiting on deck, but there are 2 outs here in the 9th. One-two pitch. In there for strike 3, and that ends the ball game. As Holt goes looking, Crockett able to strike him out and end the game. As the Red Sox come away with the victory 8-2, I should say the Indians come away with the victory 8-2. Step aside, get back to more from Cleveland right after this.